My best friend's wedding star Dermot Mulroney has filed for divorce from his longtime wife, Prima Apollinaare, after spending more than a decade and a half navigating life, love, and the complexities of marriage together. The announcement has sent gentle shockwaves through fans who have admired their quiet, enduring partnership, a love story that always seemed to blossom quietly behind the scenes rather than in the harsh spotlight of Hollywood. They had, for the longest time, appeared to be one of those rare couples in showbiz, the ones who defy the odds and quietly carved out a lasting union in a world where many marriages are ephemeral. According to court documents obtained by TMZ, Mulroney, now 61 years old and still active in his acting and music career, is requesting spousal support. He has also asked the court to block Apollinaare from receiving any support from him, a request that hints at more than just irreconcilable differences and raises questions about the undercurrents that may have been building between them long before the public ever heard of their marital breakdown. It's a painful and familiar moment, one many people go through. Celebrity or not, the untangling of a shared life, the logistics of separation, and the emotional weight that no courtroom document can capture. Both Mulroney and Apollinaare have cited irreconcilable differences as the official reason for the dissolution of their marriage, a term that has become the legal shorthand for relationships that no longer function in harmony, that have drifted apart in ways no counseling or compromise could mend. And while the term itself sounds clinical and procedural, behind those words lies the real human story, one of unmet needs, broken expectations, or simply the quiet erosion of connection over time. Interestingly, court filings reveal that both parties are still listed at the same Sherman Oaks residence. Whether this is simply a matter of convenience or a legal technicality, or perhaps a sign that the emotional unspooling of their relationship is still in process, isn't entirely clear. It's possible they continue to cohabit out of necessity, particularly for their children, or they might just be sharing a mailing address while living in different parts of the home. A temporary limbo many couples experience during the early stages of divorce. This fact alone suggests a complexity that legal documents can't fully explain, a bittersweet coexistence that lingers after love has faded. They share 2 daughters together, Mabel Ray, who is 15, and Sally Mulroney, who is 17, with the children still in their teenage years and not yet fully independent. Mulroney has made it clear that he's seeking joint custody, emphasizing his desire to remain actively involved in their lives. These are the fragile years when children often need both parents more than ever, and custody arrangements during this stage can be deeply influential in shaping the emotional stability of a family going through upheaval. He has also requested that both parties split attorney fees equally, which could be interpreted as a desire for fairness in the legal process, but may also point to a shared agreement to keep things civil, at least on the surface. Mulroney's filings also reference the division of assets, stating that they have not yet determined the nature and extent of what will be considered community property. He added that any earnings and accumulation made during the marriage until the date of separation will be considered jointly owned. In California, community property laws can make separations particularly complex, especially when both partners have contributed to the household in varying ways, not only financially but emotionally, creatively, and as co-parents. Despite all the formal language, it's impossible to ignore the human dimensions of this situation. For fans and those who followed their careers, this divorce may seem to come out of nowhere. As recently as February 2024, the couple appeared united and joyful during their appearance on Fox's We Are Family, where they performed a duet of Islands in the Stream. The chemistry was palpable, their voices blending as effortlessly as you'd expect from 2 people who had made music and life together for years. Watching them on that stage, no one would have guessed there was trouble beneath the surface. Their performance wasn't just entertainment. It was a snapshot of what appeared to be a healthy partnership. In interviews following that performance, Mulroney spoke glowingly of the opportunity. He told Entertainment Weekly that receiving the call to join the show was like a dream come true, especially because it gave them a chance to share something so personal with a public that had only ever seen glimpses of their love. "It was such an amazing phone call to get," he said. "They knew Prima's music and put together that we are this sort of secret couple, even though we've been together for 20 years. He emphasized how much it meant to participate in a show that wasn't just about winning prizes or chasing clout, but was, in his words, about helping people. It was the kind of sentiment that made you believe this couple wasn't just thriving. They were evolving together." Prima Apollinaare echoed his excitement. She shared how much she enjoyed the experience of singing with her husband on national television. "We both like to do karaoke together, and we both like music so much," she said. "It was really an amazing experience to be on television and singing. Of course, with my husband. I play with him all the time in the house. We all play instruments. We have harps, guitars, ukuleles, pianos, you name it." In her voice, there was joy, pride, and affection, a snapshot of what seemed like a home filled with harmony and creativity. For many who watched that performance or read those interviews, it would have been hard to imagine that within months, this same couple would be filing for divorce. Their love story had always been one that quietly flew under the radar. They met in 2008, drawn to each other by a shared passion for music. Prima, a singer-songwriter with roots in Italy, and Dermot, a classically trained cellist and actor, found a kind of symphony in one another. It wasn't just about romance. It was about creative compatibility, mutual admiration, and the kind of partnership that made room for both art and life. They weren't flashy or tabloid regulars. Instead, they seemed to prefer the softer corners of the celebrity world, focusing on their work, their children, cute, and each other. At one point, Apollinaare was even listed as a producing partner on a biopic Mulroney was set to direct. It was the kind of professional collaboration that many couples dream of, an intersection where personal life and creative ambition could merge without conflict. They seemed to lift each other up, share each other's dreams, and give each other space to grow, which is so often the secret ingredient in lasting love stories. So what changed? What cracked the foundation of this seemingly solid bond? That's the question no one can truly answer except them. Divorce is rarely about one thing, it's about everything. It's about the small disappointments that go unspoken, the moments of disconnect that grow into distance, the demands of work and parenting that often leave little time for nurturing a marriage. It's about identity shifts, evolving dreams, and sometimes it's just about growing apart in quiet, irreversible ways. In Hollywood, where marriages are often performed as much as they are lived, Mulroney and Apollinaare were different. Weren't the couple posting daily photos or sharing curated snapshots of domestic bliss? They were private, stealthy, as Mulroney once described them. And maybe that privacy allowed them to protect what they had. But maybe it also meant that whatever problems they were facing had nowhere to go but inward. There's also the reality of age and stage. Mulroney is now in his 60s. Apollinaare, younger, has her own dreams, ambitions, and a life she may want to pursue independently. Their daughters are approaching adulthood, soon ready to forge paths of their own. It's a transitional moment in time when many couples reflect on where they've been and where they're going. For some, that means rededicating themselves to each other. For others, it means letting go. And letting go doesn't always mean failure. Sometimes it's the most loving thing people can do, to recognize that they've taken each other as far as they could, that they've built a life, raised a family, shared laughter and tears. Now, the path ahead looks different for each of them. It's painful, yes, but it can also be freeing.